The main official language in South Africa is English, which is unfortunately not the home language of the majority. Politicians are often criticized for addressing the public in English. Zuma is better than most in the art of using vernacular to do politics. This ability to use the vernacular is often misconstrued as the secret of his popularity. In fact, Ramaphosa is by far the unmatched champion linguist in South African politics. Language is overrated as a means to connect to the masses. The home language of almost everyone in America is English. The most articulate of the two presidential candidates was Kamala. She repeatedly explained in detail how she was going to assist working people in a lot of areas. She mentioned specific interventions in child support, housing, small business development, health, etc. Yet voters kept saying they didn't know what she stood for and they needed more details from Harris. Trump offered nothing except tariffs and the prospect of rounding up aliens and throwing them out. Trump and his staff often acted as if they were out to offend the voters. Trump openly disrespected even the voters he was addressing at any given time. Sometimes he would let his mind drift and say senseless things that had nothing to do with his audience. Some say Trump would be so boring, people would leave early. In fact, Trump sometimes told his audience that he was bored. Towards the tail end of the campaign, Trump would play endless boring music and sort of sway non-stop to the music. Trump would insult voters, at one time calling the Latinos of Puerto Rico a floating island of trash. On one occasion, his microphones malfunctioned and he whiled away time by simulating a sex act on the microphone in full view of his audience. He was always nauseatingly condescending to black men, to whom he referred as you people. Despite all these faults, black men, whites, and Latinos voted overwhelmingly for Trump. Trump constantly refers to his opponents as low IQ people. Trump supporters believe this because they consider their idol as high IQ. This high rating by fans empowers him to talk nonsense with such confidence that people blame themselves for failure to understand his nonsense. Trump doesn't sell great ideas or promises to the electorate. He sells confidence, which doesn't require language to communicate. When Trump promised to end the Ukraine war within 24 hours of being elected by making a few phone calls, he was not making a promise per se. He was selling the mega confidence of MAGA conmen. MAGA conmen compare very well with our RET conmen of the comrade parties. The only area in which MAGA conmen are weak is the toy-toy. Instead of swaying non-stop to boring music when he ran out of things to say at a rally, Trump would have fired up followers with toy-toy if he were South African. What the American elections taught us is that American voters are not more intelligent than South African voters. In all situations where USA democracy seemed to work in the past, it was only because of the quality of leadership.